Hey everyone, my name is Monica, aka Mona Lisa, and if you're new here, I am an illustrator and comic writer. I am documenting my journey on my comic book that I'm trying to launch in October. Before I start this video, one quick announcement. I do have a newsletter. I am officially launching it. If you want to sign up, click on the link below, sign up with your email, just in case you're not subscribed or you just want to have a little bit more information. I'll be sharing when I post for the new YouTube video, snippets, maybe a little bit behind the scene or questions you have, or a little bit more information about myself. I wanted to just sort of build a community since it's something that I've been trying to figure out where I kind of stand in this internet universe. My followers usually came from my toy design background. Now that I'm kind of gearing away on posting that kind of content and focusing more on my original work, I wanted to see where I can gravitate, what community, what new spaces to be in. Really trying to come out of my box, be more open and out there. Even though you may be surprised, I am sort of shy in person. I may not show it, but I'm internally screaming inside. This week on episode 4, we are still in the penciling stage. I am really proud of myself because I usually like to go over challenges and wins that I have, and so far, I feel like this past 2 weeks have not been challenging at all, surprisingly. I feel like I have more time for myself to get rested. I had a little bit of client work. I feel kind of proud of myself to be caught up on my comic book. I have 2 pages that I'm behind on, but I'm not too worried since today is Sunday. And if you watch my previous episode, Sunday and Monday are usually my buffer days. I'm not too worried about falling behind my schedule since I actually did already create these pages before in the past. 3 years ago, I applied to get a grant for this comic book, and this little snippet that I submitted is actually something I do want to input in my first issue. It's kind of great looking back my work 3 years ago and how much I've grown since then. So I'm going to try to push it more on the dynamic, the storytelling, on the flow, so get a fresh pair of eyes with it without worrying too much that I have to come up with something completely new. As far as penciling, I'm also having a lot of fun with the 3D aspect on the Clip Studio Paint program. So I'll share a little bit of what I've done. You want to be very slow with the joints because sometimes it could get a little sensitive. So I like to just go really slow at it and try to really figure out where am I trying to distribute the joint, on how do I want to position it. I try to play around with making the perspective poses being a little bit more dynamic. That's really great. So I try to play around with it. Simple pose, but again, it was just a different perspective that I wanted to have. I was really slow with it. So as I mentioned it in the previous episode, you kind of have to be mindful of the joints since the sensitivity is really high in this program, but it's really fun and sort of calming to kind of work it out and then have it come to life. And then after you're done, I turn down the opacity and do a really light overlay, and then I just keep going with it. There's some poses that work and some that don't. Sometimes you have a certain pose that you have in mind, but for instance, one of the reference that I had, the reference image was a girl in a lot heavier clothing, whereas my character Sola, she's wearing a little bit form-fitting outfits, so it was kind of hard to see where I want the fabrics to lay. It was just having a lot of fun with it, trying out different perspective and stuff. One of the goals that I have for the upcoming weeks is that I'm wrapping up my penciling, so I need to overlook everything and make sure that the flow is great. I wanted to try out and do some paintings of the landscape. For instance, in one of the locations that I have is a spirit world. It's a place where seasons don't make sense. So spring, winter are mixed in together into this place. There's a lot of color, super dynamic flowers, just everything is so colorful in this place. You have these spiritual creatures that are also highly colorful. So I wanted to have fun with it and try out and see, almost like Studio Ghibli, where they actually physically paint the landscapes and then put it into the animation. So I wanted to have that similar vibe. One goal that I really have, which will be fun, and I'll document it for my next video, And then I mentioned last week that I was trying to redo my artist alley. So I did go to Santee Alley here in downtown LA, and I was in a rush this time. I only had an hour to spare, so I didn't get to document as much as I thought I would, but I did go to Michael Levine, which is a fabric store in downtown that I actually went since college. I found this gingham checkered print that's blue and white. And then I also got these like vinyl fabrics that I want to use for the top of my cubes. Again, playing with the vibe and aesthetic that I wanted to feel very nostalgic. So I got the fabrics. I have 2 more weeks before I start inking. So I really need to start planning on the banner and some of the new layouts for my Artist Alley booth. I'll try to document that for the next episode as well. So just a few goals that I have for the next coming week is to review the penciling, make sure to have a lot of details included into it. Once you get into the line art aspect of it, you want to make sure that you're not wasting time by creating more information added to it and kind of have all your bases sort of completed so it makes it an easy, smooth process, especially since I will be inking almost every single day. So far, I have maybe 34 to 36 pages of information that I have to work on. The next 2 weeks, which you'll see in the next episode, is review penciling. Second would be review and go over my Artist Alley booth. Maybe show along and by showing you a Photoshop and how I sort of envision it. 3 is I'm creating stickers for Rose City Comic Con, and I wanted to get it done now before it gets too crazy. So I wanted to do sticker sheets, and then I have these die cut stickers that I have in mind. 4 is I wanted to go this coming week to the public library and check out that lab that I just mentioned and see what sort of resource, because last night, even though will be a little bit swamped with this comic book, I had a vision of creating a 3D model of my character Metzi. And this is something that I kind of already wanted to do. If you don't know, I actually worked in toy design before, and I used to do a lot of the development where I helped ideate the sculpting and the fabric and the deco and the hair, all the things that go into making that doll I have knowledge of. So I wanted to kind of put it into use and create my own action figure. I wanted to create this action figure almost like a conversation starter, introduce Metzi, and then show them my comic. Some of the things and resource that I just want to give a quick shout out for is I haven't been myself, but there's a lab in Los Angeles Public Library in downtown. They have free resources to use a sewing machine, a 3D printer, get poster size printed for free, as well as like a podcast studio. So I'm gonna check it out this coming week. Since I'm rebranding my Artist Alley booth, I do print a lot of poster size for like the price list or some of the little like informations that I have in my booth. I usually print it out at Staples, but it tends to, adds up and be expensive, especially since I feel like I'm always constantly rebranding each time I do a convention. I really want to stop doing that because it does kind of add up and have something more locked in where I'm not constantly rebranding. I have an identity. So I'm really looking forward to this new challenge, especially I don't come from a background of doing branding, marketing, or even logo design. These episodes are kind of a little bit short. That's why I kind of made it bi-weekly, because it's sort of the same repetitive stuff, even though each week I keep adding more ideations for my branding and everything. Nothing else new at the top of my head. I just want to give a big ups to me because this YouTube thing has been really new for me, and especially with editing and everything. And I'm so proud of myself that each week that I'm getting more and more better at editing, being a little bit more faster. It's not taking me too long. It was taking me like 5 days before, and now it's taking me maybe 2 days. And that's not like a 2 full days. It's just shorten it down. So I'm proud of myself, and I'm trying to be more active on social media. I feel like I'm still not understanding it because branding is just not my forte. I don't know. but I'm hoping that I'll see each step of the way that I try that I'll get better at it. Another thing that I'm actually going to share in the next episode, I'm actually going to go to Anime Expo, not as a vendor, as a customer, and I'm just going to go there. It's an event that I've always gone for many years. I used to go there a lot with my best friend, but now that he moved, coincidentally, he's going to come and visit. We're going to go on Saturday, which I'm really excited for. I'm hoping to get inspired and also just buy a lot of stuff. I just really love art so much and supporting it, even though, budget doesn't always allow it, but my heart wants it. I'll do a little short vlog on Anime Expo next time. If you made it all the way at the end of this video, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. This has definitely been motivating for me in terms of creating content and working on my comic book and to share more in terms of my process and progress with everything. I am so thankful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which is Mona Lisa Draws. If you want to support this channel in more ways or even support the comic book, I do have a Patreon. I have a $1 tip jar tier, super minimal, just a tip jar to help fund this project, as well as a coffee, which is just tipping in terms of coffee aspect. Super into coffee, so if you do donate, it's going to be put into good use. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to share with you in the next video with my Artist Alley, Anime Expo, and going to the public library to share some of more things that I'm utilizing at the meantime before things get a little bit crazy. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.